Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Maria Valletta, and we are here at the beautiful PBS 39 studios at the Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And joining me today is Chef Evan Deluty from Stella in Boston.
Well, thank you, Maria.
Welcome back to the Chef's Kitchen.
I'm psyched to be here as always with the same crew and same guys, and nice to see a lot of familiar faces.
Well, it's great to have you
yours as well.
again. And it's nice to know that you're making pasta for us today.
We're making homemade gnocchi, potato, little Parmesan Reggiano. Very simple. It's been on the menu since day one at Stella, and it's the one dish that I cannot take off.
Which is how many years now?
That'll be 9 years in May.
9 years.
Yeah.
That's a big deal for a restaurant.
It is.
When you get past 5, you're like,
Then you know you've done something right.
did it right.
So we have some beautiful beef steak
Done it
tomatoes here, and we've taken the stem off. And the little trick is you score the skin like this.
I see that. You've got a nice little X going.
Then we drop it into the water. We're gonna bump it up a little bit. It doesn't have to be boiling.
It doesn't.
As long as it's nice and hot. So we're gonna drop the tomatoes in. What we're trying to do is get rid of the skin. And this is part of the
easier to
process.
peel.
So we're gonna let these sit in the water for a minute or two.
All right, let's get the flour going for the pasta.
Okay, and let's pull these tomatoes.
Okay.
Because you can see the skin has started to peel away from the tomato. So we're gonna take them gently and put them on a plate and just set them aside.
Yeah, you can see it just
You can
cracking.
see the skin like peeling off of it, and sometimes it actually falls off right in the tongs, which is even better.
Should I grab the potatoes out of the
Yeah, grab the potatoes for the gnocchi.
kitchen fridge?
We'll set these right in the fridge. Yep. We're gonna leave this going because I want to keep the pan nice and hot. So let's put those potatoes right in the mixer.
Okay.
So that's just cooked potato, right? Start them off slow. You want to break them up a little bit. Let's put some salt and pepper in there.
All right.
Some fresh ground pepper. Perfect. I'll put a little salt in.
Yeah. You get the salt, I get the pepper.
Great. Now I think we're ready for the egg, so we're going to slow it down. We'll put one egg in. Okay. Now we slowly drop in some all-purpose flour.
All-purpose.
If you have a gluten allergy or celiac, you could use
Rice
whole wheat
flour.
flour. Cornstarch or rice flour.
Rice flour.
Can't use
Can't use whole wheat if you're gluten-free.
Right. So we'll drop some flour in. This is an eyeball. It's all like, an old kind of nano recipe, so you just kind of go with the,
Well,
how
Stella's
you
all
feel.
Italian food, right?
Exactly.
So you've been doing this for 9 years,
the
you said.
cheese.
So you know the feel, but for those of us at home, it's not as easy,
I put a couple tablespoons of cheese in.
Okay.
Or whatever you like. Yeah, just dump it in. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. A little bit more and we're good. Some chopped flat leaf Italian parsley. Right here. You can chop it rough. You can chop it small. You can chop it big. Just as long as
smells
you get,
really good.
Yeah, a little love in there. We've got salt. We've got pepper.
Oh, look at the color going.
Let's see how it looks. Now, basically, to the touch, you want it to be kind of firm, but you also want it to be a little bit moist, so it'll be pillowy. Like, gnocchis are often, they're very dense.
They shouldn't be dense,
Yeah, that's,
Like, I bet
straight
you
to
don't
the
make
bottom.
them dense.
No, we make them nice and light,
Yeah.
fluffy, like pillowy, right? We've got a batch already done that's been resting. It needs to rest for about a good hour or so.
In the fridge?
You can put it in the fridge, or you can put it on the, if you have counter space, you can put it on the counter. I like to put it in the fridge, so it's in the fridge.
Stay tuned for more of the Chef's Kitchen. We're back with more from the Chef's Kitchen.
Now this is the fun part.
You get to roll some gnocchi.
So we're gonna cut a little bit here, right? Very simple. Now you
gonna
feel how sticky it is.
It is.
Right?
Definitely sticky.
Right? So now we want to roll it out. You kind of have to just not really grab it, because if you grab it, it's gonna stick. So kind of like,
Gentle hands there.
making a snake. Yeah, you pull it out a little bit, but you want to keep it going and just focus on making a nice uniform snake. All right?
It's funny because I've made cavatelli and it's kind of
Yeah,
similar.
it's a similar motion. Now we're getting to the point where we want to be. And obviously you can do any desired cut that you like. You can do them thicker, you could do them skinnier. We're going to be sauteing them, so I want it to be a little bit thicker.
Okay.
That's one of the tricks that we do over at Stella. We
Hand saute them?
Well, we poach them. We poach them first.
Yeah.
And then we saute them in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil.
Which is so good because they get a little bit
Crispy,
of that brown crispy.
yeah. So we're gonna cut them on the bias.
Then you get that soft inside and a little crispy outside.
Right,
That's so
exactly.
good.
And that's the whole pillow effect. So here we are, Roll them around in the flour a little bit so they don't stick.
So what other homemade pastas do you make at Stella?
Linguine, we make pappardelle, we make spaghetti, and we make fettuccine and tagliatelle. So we make like 5 or 6 different kinds of pasta. Right into the boiling salted water. Good. I like a little bit more, and I think we're good. So now we'll drop the gnocchis in, right?
In they go.
Right in they go, right down the...
Now they're gonna cook fast,
right in the pool. You know, again, it depends on the size, but you know, the general rule is usually when they float, you're good. I think we should also start on our lovely beet salad. Okay, these are the red beets, and in the fridge we have some other beets.
Golden? What do you got?
Kyoga beets. It's like a candy stripe beet. It's got
like a rainbow.
White,
It's
It's
beautiful.
like a little rainbow, right? So we're gonna move some stuff around, and we're gonna place all of the beets. We have the cut beets, the diced beets, and then we have the sliced beets. So let's do salt and pepper. We'll put the other beets in there as well. Great. Salt and pepper. I want to make a quick lemon vinaigrette. Now, people always get freaked out about, you know, vinaigrettes. They think it's so hard, and you got to whisk it. Here's a great little trick for you.
Oh, good.
Great little
Give me
trick.
A tip and technique.
Grab a squeeze bottle. Put as much, you know, if you want to make a half a cup, put a quarter of a cup of olive oil in, and then like a quarter cup of lemon juice, right? So we're almost like 50-50 here, right?
Yes.
Pinch of salt.
I like 50-50. I mean, sometimes they say more oil, but I like the vinegar.
I like the acidity as
yeah,
well.
me too.
So
I'm with
a
you
little
on that.
salt and a little pepper in there, right? Put the lid on.
You're gonna shake it.
Then we shake it up. And you have a perfectly emulsified vinaigrette. You know, you can see it's like a nice sauce.
How's our gnocchi doing?
They're coming up. A couple of them are still working their way up.
All right.
I think we're ready. We've got some ice water over here, and we're gonna shock, like, you know, like we shock the
Like you would like greens or
to stop
Brussels
the,
sprouts.
to stop
yeah,
the cooking.
Stop the cooking.
You don't want to overcook them, so we've got some nice ice water here, and then we're just gonna take the gnocchi and put them right in the water. Very simple, right?
Because you're gonna warm them up again because you're gonna put them in the pan.
Right,
so.
exactly. We're gonna let those cool down for a sec. Let's grab the plate for the beets.
All right.
So I like to do the beets in a couple different ways. So like here we have the sliced beets, and then we have the diced beets. So we're gonna season these beets up. So we're gonna get a little bit of the lemon vinaigrette, right? Right on top.
So is this a salad you serve at the restaurant?
Yeah, this has been on the menu for like 8 years practically. A little
Yeah,
salt.
17 minutes, chef.
A little salt, a little cracked black pepper, right? And then let's bring them to the plate.
Okay.
And we'll just kind of, you know, grab them. Do a nice
make it
little
look pretty.
arrangement, right? Whatever kind of arrangement you want to do.
So you serve salads and pastas. What else at the restaurant?
A lot
Our
of
favorite dishes.
a lot of you know, locally caught fish. We're in Boston, so we're right by the water. Let's toss the beets, right? We also definitely want to give a seasoning check.
And taste it.
Taste it. Let's give it a taste. Here you go. Grab one. A little more salt, I think.
I think maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really nice how you have the two different colors, but you also have sliced it and diced it differently.
Yeah.
The textural difference is going to
And
be
it's-
really interesting for the palate.
And aesthetically, you know, it's all about the look of the food. So
Presentation, it really is everything. They even say
Great.
when you're a home cook, you should still present your food as if you were at a restaurant.
right. So we have some nice, beautiful Vermont goat cheese here.
Oh,
So
that's
just
got to be great.
Just crumble a little bit on here. It's a little bit messy. A good trick is if you keep it in the fridge, then it breaks up a lot easier.
Keep it cold.
Yeah, keep it cold. So now we're gonna finish with some microgreens. Very simply, we're gonna dress. You can go right into the same bowl, and let's get some of that lemon vinaigrette. Give it a shake. You always want to give it a shake.
Shake it. That's the secret.
That way it gets emulsified. Right. So we'll put a little bit in there. There you go. A little, great. Touch of salt and pepper. Always have to season as we go, right?
I know.
It's creating layers of flavor.
I really think a lot of people forget the salt and pepper in salads.
Well, it's
and
big.
it's really important.
Well, it gives it that pop sensation, you know, that explosion, that, you know, that like, you know, blast of flavor. How many salads have you had that haven't been seasoned?
Oh,
They're
I know,
all right.
and
They're
they're just
fresh.
like, blah.
It's like okay, but now when you put the nice salt, nice pepper, it pops. There's a you know, good zing to it. So it's just kind of very
And
casually.
microgreens is really the best thing I think to use for this this salad? Because you really want to get the flavor of the beets, right?
Right.
And you want to see the color.
One little finishing little drizzle though. Maybe get some on the plate so you can see it.
Oh, it looks pretty.
Let's set that over there. That's done.
Perfect. We'll be right back with more from the chef's kitchen. We now return to the chef's kitchen.
Let's go back to our gnocchi here. I want to start the sauce for the gnocchi while those are resting as well. We should strain those. So we're going to get some extra virgin olive oil here. I'd say about 2 or 3 tablespoons. So we have some nice fresh garlic here. Chopped garlic. When the pan gets a little bit warm, you don't want the pan to be too hot because then you'll blaze out the garlic and burn it up and it'll be a mess.
Yeah, and then it gets bitter.
Right. So we're going to go garlic. And I like to put a little bit of salt and pepper in right now. I know it's crazy, but it does. It just makes the garlic
more
taste
mellow, maybe.
So now we're gonna go with those, the tomatoes that we.
So good.
I love garlic. I really do.
How could you not?
So keep shake it around. Another little trick is when it starts to brown,
golden.
I tilt the pan, right? So there's less surface area. It's almost like you're frying the garlic.
Okay.
But if you keep it flat, it can be unevenly cooking. It's too hot. So kind of gather everything down towards the bottom, and it'll get nice and perfectly golden brown, nice consistent, nice even, and wonderfulness. So let's dump those tomatoes in.
That's a great tip.
Great. It's gonna splatter a little bit, so be careful.
That's okay.
All right. Now, right in, we're layering. Here's our layering, right? Pepper.
All about the layers.
All right. Are we looking good here?
It's looking beautiful. Beautiful and bright.
It is nice and bright, right? So now this is gonna, ideally this could stew down for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. But if you had to do it in 5, 10 minutes, no problem. The tomatoes are still delicious. But the longer it goes, the softer they're gonna be, and the more,
intense the flavors get. Complexity.
Well, this is,
but brightness.
I like this right here.
Ah.
So let's taste it first, though. Check our seasoning. I need a little more salt.
A little bit more salt.
Yep. And let's grab a different spoon so we're not double dipping.
Oh.
Right? A little more salt.
There you go.
And a little pepper. A little more.
Pepper.
Now we're going to get the pan nice and hot, and we're going to sear these gnocchi. Now, very important not to crowd the pan.
Okay.
All right?
And a nonstick is okay?
For everybody at home, I think nonstick is the way to go. Give those little mixes. We put a little more seasoning in it. Great. And see how the sauce, like the oil is starting to emulsify with the juice from the tomato?
Yeah, you can see it turning that beautiful color.
And it gets like really saucy, and like it almost like coats the actual tomato, and then in turn will coat the gnocchi.
I almost want to stick a piece of bread in this and just, indulge.
All right. So now we're gonna sear up these gnocchi, okay? Extra virgin olive oil in the pan. Want to get the pan, nice and hot. And again,
We got it this time.
don't crowd the pan, okay? Right? That's a big thing. We're not gonna crowd the pan. All right. The sizzle's good. And once you hear the sizzle, we're good.
That means you're ready.
Lay the gnocchi in. Now, if they're not completely dry, you might get a little splatter. Don't be
Okay.
afraid. All right?
Was I supposed to pat them down first?
No, we're fine. We can deal with a little bit of splattering. We're professionals. All right?
That makes one of us.
So, I know, you definitely are. So let's, a little bit more oil.
Yeah.
Okay. Put those back there, right? So this is about what we serve at the restaurant. Anywhere from 10 to 12, depending upon the size. It's a nice portion. People don't, the guests really can, really dig into this dish. It's like really earthy and
Hearty.
chewy, hearty. Yeah, it's great during the winter, but also it's nice in the summertime because we made the recipe for these gnocchis. It is very light.
Yep.
So it can be, in the summertime you can also enjoy it. It doesn't have to be just a winter hearty dish,
Plus, in the summer, when you have ripe tomatoes
Oh,
that are
yeah.
fresh,
Beautiful.
what more could you ask for?
We have some nice fresh basil here, and we have some chiffonata basil that we're going to use to garnish the plate, and then we have some chopped basil that we're going to use to season the gnocchi as well.
Okay.
So let's grab a spoon. Let's check them out, see if we get any coloring. Oh, there we go. There's a little brown. We want to get a little more color than that,
A little
though.
more, huh?
Kind of mix them around, see what you got going on. Yeah, there's a little color there too. I like to get a little darker color, because it creates almost like a crispiness to it. It's really kind of cool. Some people are not a big fan of it. Like, you know.
I like it.
I like it. I think it adds a
little
more depth to the dish, you know? All right, so we're looking good here.
The chef's kitchen likes it.
There we go.
There you go.
And if you guys like it, then I like it. So look at how nicely we're browning here.
That's great.
You don't want it to be, you know, blacker and, you know, darker.
No.
You don't want to burn it, but
this
is perfect right here.
Gotta turn them over.
Get a little bit of color in there. Give them a flip. Give them a flip, right?
We'll return with more from the chef's kitchen. We're back with more from the chef's kitchen.
So we're like right there.
Now what?
Put some tomatoes in. All right. You don't want to have not too much tomato. It's gonna slather up. I think that's a good ratio right there.
Okay. Whew. Got some flame there.
Give it a little toss. No, it's okay. We're in a kitchen. All right.
Woo!
That's all right. We don't want to do that though. All right. Let's get a little bit of salt and pepper.
It's a good thing we didn't put any wine in there.
We're gonna put some fresh basil in.
All right, you must have the salt over there, because I've got, oh, there's
Salt's
the salt.
right there.
Pepper
Pepper over there. Yeah, it's hot.
Hot.
Getting good though. It's, you know, it's starting to absorb all of that tomato flavor. Great.
Pretty.
I think that's perfect right there. All right, let's toss it around a little bit. You know what? I think we can add the rest of the tomatoes.
Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're lucky. I almost took that pan and put it in the sink.
Wow, it's a great
I thought, no,
great
you
minds
might
think
want to
alike.
add a little
right.
bit more color.
So let's get a spoon and give it a taste. There you go.
Okay.
Check that out.
Oh, the smell. I always smell food before I taste it. 'Cause
that's tough.
everything you taste is smell, you know?
Looking good?
The tomatoes are melting like into the
All right,
oil.
let's go right to the plate. Have fun with it. If you want to pile them up in the middle or kind of toss them off to the side, whatever you want to do.
And if you wanted to add some meat
Steven's
to
gonna
this,
love it. Oh, you
could
could
do
put some
like,
ground sausage. You know, you could put some veal in here, some turkey, some ground turkey would be dynamite. We actually had just the right amount of sausage. I think it worked out perfect. Okay, let's grab the grated Parmesan Reggiano over here.
Is that parsley or basil?
This is basil.
That's basil.
This is fresh basil. So do a little bit of cheese on top.
Okay.
And of course, you know, cheese as desired. If you want a lot of cheese.
A little bit,
or
a lot of bit.
I like a lot of cheese, but that's looking good.
All right.
All right. Drizzle some nice chiffonado basil, fresh basil. So we have the cooked basil.
Oh,
and
chef,
now we have
that
the
looks
raw
so gorgeous.
basil that, you know, really kind of comes out. And the heat from the residual heat from the gnocchi and the tomato now will actually cook the basil and perfume it, so it's really wonderful.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Right from here.
Great. All right, this is perfect. So we're done. Let's set this over here.
All right. We've
And,
got our beet salad. We've got our gnocchi.
And we've got a little rosé here that we've selected.
Little sparkling wine?
A little sparkling. I like the sparkling, you know, it's
Hey,
nice.
sparkling at any time.
that pink-
Sounds good to me.
Pink sparkling is always the best.
I like to drink pink.
And especially out of a big wine glass. That's how the cool people do it. None of these flutes, right?
Well, actually, you can get more of the aroma out of a sparkling when you use a
larger
wider glass.
I agree. Here we go.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Cheers, Maria. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Evan.
Want to try the beet salad first? I'll cut
Yes.
you up a little piece. Okay.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Get
Let
in
me put
there.
my wine down a moment.
You can use those as well. And
Thank
I'll cut a
you.
little piece for myself.
All right.
Very simple, you know. I mean, a lot of chefs, you know, like to really overdo things. You know, I like to let the protein shine.
Simple, straightforward.
Very simple. Proper seasoning.
When you have fresh ingredients like this, chef, what else do you need to, you know, showcase? It's great.
Those Tioga beets are unbelievable. They're like meaty, a little bit sweet, a little bit of bitterness. And
Those
then
are
the
really
red
good.
beets-
How did
yeah.
you cook them? Did you put them in the oven or?
Yeah, salt and pepper, olive
Yeah.
oil. Wrap them up individually in tin foil.
foil.
And pop them in like
40 minutes.
450. Oh no, you got to cook them. Depends upon the size, but you know, you take them out, grab a fork or a knife.
Yeah.
Slides in easy, slides in easy, slides out easy. You're good.
Okay.
And you can have different, you know, degrees of doneness if you like. If you like a little more al dente, 35, 40
These are
minutes.
perfect.
Yeah, these have a nice little bite to them. They're perfect. So now let's try the gnocchi over here. This is the,
Yeah, the sparkling actually pairs really well with the
With
beets
the
because the
beets.
rosé has a little bit more heft.
yeah.
You know, but you still have that zippiness that matches the acidity in the salad. Really nice. And the cheese.
The
Cheese
goat
is a great compliment to those beets.
Thank you.
Thanks to Vermont, I guess, on that one too, right? Mm-hmm. All right, this gnocchi. Oh, this is heaven.
But see how you don't get that dense, like, they're nice and light.
No.
And I think the sauteing helps to lighten it up as well.
Plus, it gives it an extra texture that I just love.
A little crispiness, yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, cheers again. And
thank you, Chef Evan. Thank you for being
pleasure.
on the Chef's Kitchen. It's so nice to have you back. I look forward to seeing you again. You're one of our absolute favorite chefs here in the Chef's Kitchen.
Thank you. It's very sweet of you, and again, honored to be here and working with you guys.
With the team,
The whole
with the
team
Chef's
is
Kitchen
great.
team.
I'll
see you at Stella soon, I hope.
Look forward to it.
Cheers.
Cheers.